Hello, this is a waving guide to help you learn a little way you can wave from some awkward positions without always tracing all the time. Because a lot of the time, if we're stuck in a position, we want to kind of move our hand around our body a lot, so we can always, play around with it. So even if we're stuck in a position like this, the natural thing to do is to kind of move the hand around, and then see where we can come up with, right? So that's usually to escape a position, we would use tracing to get out of it, but we should also be able to wave from pretty much most positions. Some positions are quite difficult, and you kind of do have to maneuver your body around a little bit, but I'll show you a simple way to kind of understand your body a little bit better. So goes like this. If you put your arms by your side, your arms act as a measurement to your body, right? So immediately your hand is at your shoulder and your elbow is at your hip. This is going to be a good measurement to understand, okay, now my elbow's at my hip. My elbows can actually control my hip, like boom, sh, boom, sh, boom. So your elbows pretty much control the hip. Or what we can do is, when we're at this shoulder, right, we can also control the shoulder as well. So up, down, hip. Know what I mean? So you got hip, hip, boom, boom, just like that. So from here, what we can do is this shoulder comes up, this shoulder comes up, down, down, or we can play around with it. Boom, 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 boom. So we use these a lot in waving, but we have to also know the trigger points and the escape route. So the trigger points would be your joints, your shoulders, your head, your chest, your hips, even your knees as well. So, and your elbows and your hands could be trigger points as well. So take a position like this. Okay, so our hands are together, so the closest trigger point is going to be either your hands, because they're pretty much touching here. So we would be going to the closest trigger point, which is our hands. So another way you can think of this is with numbers. There's a concept in numbers called rounding off. If you are the number 4, you would round off to 5. If you're got an 8 or a 9, you'd probably round off to a 10. So we're following the same idea, we're just rounding off to the closest joint, right? So we're going to be going to the closest trigger point in this case. So our shoulders, if we're here, it would be fingers, but also we are touching the chest too. So we would use these ways of waving, right? Because our hands are already here. Or if we moved our hands around into a different position, now the hands would be doing something different, right? It would either be pushing the chest across, boom, boom, like that, because we're in these trigger points. So the positioning of your body does matter as well. If it's here, obviously your chest is going to be moving the wave around or starting the wave, right? So even from here, now show some more things we can do. We can either wave from there. We could follow that same idea, pulling the chest across, moving it forwards, kind of pulling the wave across, and then you can send that wave down the body, wave up, maybe wave out. So because our hands are here now, we take this concept out, now we can really start to use the hand to wave with the body like this. Same kind of thing. We could use that as a wave because our hands are here. And I'm trying not to focus on tracing here, but we would usually also trace as well. So we would like trace down here, trace up, trace down, trace up. Or from here we would like trace around, or trace around. Or our heads would be like tracing around. So that's what I mean by the natural thing you want to do is start tracing. And just for the sake of this video, we don't really want to be tracing. Just want to get you into the idea of learning how to wave from any position. So there is some techniques you can do. So tracing is one of them. The other technique is just sending the wave out like this from any position, right? Because you should be able to do that in any position of your body. Like if we have a position like this, hand on hip, or one hand at the shoulder, you should kind of be able to do that, right? Another thing, like here, you should be able to just like wave from any position. If we're in a position like this, you should be able to just send the wave out like that. So that's the other concept, is just extending the wave straight out. And we can take this concept as well and make it more continuous. We could wave for here, move the arm down, okay? So now we can either like wave down there, wave up, move it around like that. Or we can, because the arms are moved, we can use that elbow to activate the hip now. So as this comes down, boom, boom, the elbow is hitting the hip. And this is going to start the next wave, which goes boom to the chest. So chest, shoulder, like that. Now, when you have a position like this, for example, the good thing about this position is the elbow is touching your hip, and this is touching your shoulder. So we have the option of going up like this, because it's still attached at the hip, or we can come up like this and then like start waving like that. So I'll just hold this position here, and then imagine that like the wave has started at the hip or something, right? So waving up to the shoulder, and now we can like send the wave down like that. Another way we can do this is with our head, okay? Because we're here, or we're down here this time. We'll show you how can we wave with our hands down here. This is a little bit more difficult. It's still very possible to do a wave from here, right? So if I'm gonna be like having my hands here, the natural thing to want to do is trace down, trace up, like we're going to want to be tracing, right? Or we would want to be like turning and tracing because our hands are down here, like. But also, you might want to like just start like figuring out how can you like activate your hips a little bit differently. So like get your hips to like turn into the wave. Boom. Up, down, turn, up, boom, boom, turn hips, boom, boom. So we can use our hands to control the hips here. 1, 2. We could be like down, 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 or up, up. Just because our hands are here, right? And this is the good thing. We can also come forwards, boom, or back, forwards, up. And this is what I mean when we come up, boom. Rather than coming up to our chest, try bring it to the side, wave to the side, up to the shoulder. And now this is where our head can be a trigger point as well, right? So send the wave up to your shoulder, and now use your head as a trigger point to boom, knock your shoulder down. Boom, 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 boom. And then send the wave up to the other shoulder. Boom, 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 boom. Right? And then you can just use your head as a trigger point. And once you've started the wave, then you can come out, right? So if I'm here, like push to shoulder and then hit the wave, now my arm's free to kind of do what it wants. Another thing, so if we're in this position here, how would we do it from here, right? So again, a natural thing to want to do is like either leg trace, because this is the perfect position to want to trace, because our head is the closest to our fingers and our arm. But we also have a shoulder as well. So again, take this same concept, hip, boom. Now I can like hit the wave out because I've already activated the shoulder now, like boom, 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 right? Or I could be like boom, 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 down. So that's what I mean, is like finding whatever part of your body acts as a trigger point to start your wave next. And it's just also playing around with what you can do from each position, because this position, it is quite difficult to wave from here, honestly. Like, but it can be done. Especially if we just do one arm at a time, then it becomes a lot easier, right? My hand's down here, wave up. Now this is like easy to wave from there, right? Boom. Because then you can do all sorts of stuff. But we follow the same concept, right? So let's say we just like send a wave out from here, like pull the hip out this time. So rather than pushing across, we'll try to pull the wave out. So yeah, let's do it like this. Pull, pull, pull the wave up to the shoulder, right? Pull the wave up to the shoulder, pull. Because from here, usually we want to like, so you can push the wave up, push the wave up. But we can also pull the wave up. And this gives you a different side of the body that you're going to be waving up. Because if I'm here, and I pull it, then I'm on the same side. If I push, the wave comes to the opposite side of my body. So knowing how a push and pull changes the side of the waves matters, right? So if I'm pulling, then I've come up to the same side. And this is really good because if I'm in a position like this, then we can pull, boom. Now we can keep our fingers attached, come behind the head, and now wave up. Because our hand is already at the shoulder, we can wave any direction we want, right? It can wave out, we can wave up. From here, we can wave straight down, like boom, 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 straight down. And yeah, it's like even if our fingers are attached, we can like trace and pretty much wave in any direction, because tracing is a very free movement to pretty much go wherever you want. Like wherever your hands can like trace is pretty much the beauty of tracing, right? But when you're in a more static position, like this, or like this, or like this, these are like harder angles to figure out. Okay, without moving my hands too much, where can I actually start away from? So this is where we have like concepts like this, or we might have a concept like our head activates the arm to go down, right? So boom, it's still a trace wave, but we're still using the closest trigger point to activate the wave, right? And if we're here, we can still trace a wave down, but we're just using the trigger point theory. So elbow at the hips can either be like boom, boom, or we can just go straight down with the elbow to the knee, and then, you know, like, so the elbow is able to like to trace. Hands can also like control the chest and stuff. Same kind of thing, like pull, pull, or turn. Because the turning is also a wave. We've got like the twisto types of wave where we turn our body, and then our hips kind of follow up, and then we can just like, same thing with the head. We can start a wave with our head as well, like boom, or like so being in these positions, we can do lots of waves from there as well. And just, yeah, it's cool because our head's at a trigger point. So let's say our hands aren't touching any part of our body. Let's just say we wave and we stop at our shoulder. Do we have a way of waving from here. Boom, we can just send the wave back here. Or we stop at the other shoulder. Boom. Right? Or let's say wave to the chest. You can just go straight down, but there is no, what's the word to describe? We don't have the trigger that's activating the wave from here, so it's still just a continuous wave. But if we pause at like the chest, then we could like either like hit the wave down, boom, boom, or we can like boom. So like our head can like hit like this sideways, but we can also like throw our head back to it. Right? That makes sense. But yeah, give that a try, guys, and let me see if that helps.